All right, welcome everyone. Akasha here. Thank you so much for coming today. Thank you so much for being here. I'm super excited. We've been waiting quite a while for this event to begin. So welcome Akasha, Nan Akasha from nanakasha.com, and I am a 33 years or more now healer. I'm studied with shamans, gone to mystery schools around the world. I'm a homeopathic doctor and a hypnotherapist, master level, and on and on and on. And after not just experiences like that, but mostly my life, if you've come to the realization that this last year has been pretty wow, but also, hey, we've been prepared for something. We've been living this life full of ups and downs and dramas. And because we are here right now, it's very, very special. So I want to thank you for being here, not just here with me. I'm very happy that we connected across the ethers. It really does mean something. There's billions of people on the planet. So when you do connect with somebody, there's always a reason. There's always some kind of a blessing, a releasing, a completion. It may not be pleasant. It may be exceptional. What we're here to do is to release our perceptions and our expectations and our beliefs and our conditioning and our patterns that tell us that things need to be a certain way, that you have to have a certain life, it has to look a certain way. All of that is broken down now. We have families that are all different kinds of people gathered together, and they're making bigger families. There's also the sense that you're becoming an individual spiritual being because we are in the great transformation, the great ascension, the great metamorphosis, whatever you want to call it, from all different walks of life. And for many, 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 many thousands of years on this planet, this moment has been predicted. So you're in an accelerated evolution. What does that mean? It means things are changing very, very fast. It means that there is no stability and that the old realities and the beliefs and the patterns and the agreements, we have an agreement. We will treat plants this way. And I don't know about you, but when I was younger, we would just throw trash out. Everybody would just throw trash out the window of their car and not think anything of it. But our consciousness began to go up, right? And we suddenly said, you know what? We shouldn't be throwing trash. And then we started having, signs that say, keep America beautiful, or wherever you live, you might have a different initiative of respecting plants, respecting the environment. And then we've seen those changes also around respecting different people, different cultures, different races, different nationalities, different sexual preferences. We've seen an increase, not an equality, but an increase in how we see and perceive women and children. Okay, they've been notoriously used, suppressed, and so on and so forth. So all of these are just signs. What are they telling us? We look at the current. The current, if you're in the river, you need to know which way is the current carrying you. And do you have currents underneath the way that the ocean does? If you've ever been, even big lakes, there are currents on the top, but underneath there could be a separate whole flow or current. So I want you to start to think of your life from a much bigger perspective. And today we're going to start our intuition challenge. What does that mean? Well, intuition is a really simple, overarching word for a lot of different things, essentially you or your light body structure. And so what's going to happen is that regardless of whether you're aware that you have a light body, that you have more dimensions to you than what you perceive, you have an emotional body. Your emotions knock you down, make you sick, lift you up, give you super strength. Your emotional body or field is an energy field, and it is a part of you that yours is completely different than mine. It's filled with old thoughts and agreements. And agreements, what do I mean by agreements? This is important that we know this because I'm challenging you this week to every day come, whether you can come live or not, you can come anytime that day, right? And what you're gonna do is do our activation. It's gonna be 30 minutes or less. Today's gonna be a little longer because we're introducing what we're talking about, and we're gonna get a channeled message from our inner guide and teacher. That is what your intuition is. Your intuition is simply a network. It's like a nervous system. Your nervous system goes throughout your body and it connects the brain to the glands, to the heart, to the lungs, and it's talking. It's just like a phone line, right? Or an internet network. This is what your intuition is. And I'm so excited to say that in my private sessions, the soul readings, I do single sessions, and I also have regular clients. And I started to see this year, well, in the last year, completely different things happening. The up-leveling is increasing. I said we're in an accelerated evolution. That means that regardless of who you are, conscious of what's happening or denying it all or stuck in your fear or, obsessed with your fear of money or lack, addicted to, which is not like alcohol, but it is in the sense that you can get addicted to a particular pattern, a thought, a feeling. Right? Sometimes it's hard to let go of feeling on alert, right? Something might happen. I have to be alert all the time. I can't ever relax because something went wrong at some point in your life. But these things begin in what is commonly called past lives. And I want to just start by saying that, yes, I went from not knowing what that was, not believing it, and spending many years suspicious of it as I dove deeper and deeper and deeper. I studied many different philosophies, and I started to see underneath the Buddhist philosophy or this kind of philosophy or that kind of philosophy, at the core is the same message. So all it is the same message, the same energy constantly coming to us from source. We are multiple layers, emotional body, you also have a mental body or a mind. It is not your brain. Your brain is like the car. Your body is like the car that's receiving energy, gas, and electrical signals to function correctly from these other layers of you and out and out. So you have a multi-layered body. You have, I just call all of it your light body, because even your physical body is, it's the densest, slowest vibrating part of you, and then it gets bigger. So when you hear higher self, what does that mean? I had a client ask me this weekend, she's on this epic quest. So we've worked together for a while, and she just bought a package where we're going to do 4 sessions, 1 a week. And what's fun is that whatever is optimal for you, I read it, I see it, we communicate with it, amazing things happen. You might go on journeys in another life, because I know they're true now, because I started doing hypnosis sessions with clients. I never said a word about past lives, and people would go to them, people would experience them. So I had people say, I don't believe in past lives. I said, that's fine too. Just decide it is whatever it is. You tapped into the collective conscious. You're tapping into our history. We all know some of the horrible things that happened in history. Well, most everybody has had, maybe you've released it, or maybe there's a little bit left, slave patterns, servant patterns, betrayal patterns, guilt and shame patterns, love lost or other kinds of loss. These deep patterns come from all of you, your soul, which is filled with many, many lives, which all exist right now, whether we perceive them in the past, in our linear time. Oh, that was in medieval times. That's fine. But they all exist right now. They're just different parts of you. And they get a wound. They die thinking they're the cause of the death of their family or their village, because they said, hey, everybody, I'm going to use my voice. This is unfair. We have to rally against the king. And you knew in your heart you were doing the right thing. You knew that this was the best thing, that we need to stand up. And then everybody is slaughtered because it's a bunch of peasants against the king's army, and everyone dies, and you're dying on the battlefield, and you're looking around as you're dying, and you realize you caused the death of these people. It was you using your voice. It was you speaking up. It was you saying, this is what's right. And you felt in your heart you were doing what was best because that's who you were. So you die with this horror and this shock and this guilt and this fear and this shame on your heart. And you make a decision. And that decision is usually something like, I'm never speaking up again. I'm never using my voice to convince anybody or inspire anybody or teach anybody. I'm going to stay in the background. I'm a bad person. If I do speak up, bad things happen. People will die. I need to just people please, and so on. So what I'm doing is giving you an example of the depth and layers of who you are. Intuition is the network that connects all these parts of you. The simple explanation that I use as an overriding concept, because that's all these are, is that source is the energy that everything is from, us. The table, okay? The flowers, the plants, every single thing is from this same energy. It's just conscious energy. That's everything. It's just possibility. Your soul comes out of that. It's a blob of source energy. And as a soul, you, or oversoul sometimes it's called, you say, okay, I've got all this energy to create with. I have this big lump of clay. What would I like to do? I got this cool, weird place called Earth, and I can create any scenario that I want. I am the creator in this. So I'm going to have a life, as a healer, and I'm going to have a life as a king, and I'm going to try being a musician, and I'm going to do these different things. And you live these lives, but these lives then create a cause. This is karma. And in that cause, you become the receiver. When you come into this life, you decide, you know what? Those 3 lives where someone betrayed me and I lost what I loved, and these 3 lives that I did something like I just described to you, I did something powerful and I saw bad consequences. A lot of times my clients have problems with money, making it, attracting it, feeling comfortable with it, growing it, trusting it, spending it without adding guilt and stuff. You don't want to add those low energies to your money because you're basically infusing everything with your energy. So when you activate your intuitive network, you connect to everything. So when you come to the point where you said in this life, wow, I'm going to have this awesome moment. It's going to be 2021. Everything is going to fall apart. Shit's going to be happening. Okay. Old ways of thinking, old ways of being, old ways of living, old ways of working, old ways of learning and teaching, everything, right, is going to fall apart, and I'm going to be able to evolve also, but that means I have to let go of these old agreements. The decision you make in these lives, or in this life, in many, many times. So my first business was fashion design. It exploded. We did $1 million in sales the first year, and 3.5 years later, at the end of the 80s, I was closing it. I was at the end of my 30s. I didn't know people didn't pay their bills. All the department stores who bought from me declared bankruptcy, bought each other, then declared bankruptcy. So I was left closing my business, this complete guilt and shame overwhelming me. Everything I believed in, which was hard work and all of that, fell apart. And I knew nothing about intuition. I knew nothing about spirituality. I knew nothing about healing. I knew nothing about any of that stuff. I knew I had this passion for ancient Greece, but I didn't think of it as, oh, I had lives then, that's why, or I was an oracle at Delphi, which I was, right? So these different things that you've been drawn to, or these different fears or patterns. I keep dating the same guy and he's abusive, right? Or I'm finally seeing some of my clients, they free their energy in our work, and that means their intuition, their senses can expand. This is what I want for you. So this challenge is to commit to yourself. Write down whatever it is you think would be the most powerful thing to change if you could clear these different energies, these different parts of your light body from these old beliefs. So the same way as many people aren't driving to work or driving to school anymore, there's some pros and cons initially, but now people are getting used to it. They're sensing more freedom. They have more control over their environment in their house. They've learned to live with their kids. They're starting to expand their mind in a new direction of what's possible. And many people are saying, no, I'd rather quit and find some other work, because rather than go back to driving to work, that was too stressful. These are major changes in our conditioning or in our agreements. So an agreement that you make is blocking you. So reason that I'm giving you this overview of your light body and how you have these layers and how you are source energy and you are the creator of your reality, you can change what you believe something means, and in that second, you completely change your emotion around it. You can go to loving somebody from hating somebody. You could think something about someone. You killed my daughter, and you're ready to just kill them even though you wouldn't kill anyone. And suddenly someone says, no, it wasn't him. It was this person. Well, immediately your emotional field changes towards that person. When you are in anger, when you are in fear, when you are in guilt, pride, depression, craving is a big one, right? A grief, that's where regret lives. All the lower states of consciousness. So make sure you go to nanakasha.com/shop, because I have there, I'm trying to see if I have that. shop.nanakasha.com. The scale is free. So it is my version of the Scale of Consciousness by David Hawkins, where you just can see the multi-layers that you can live in. If you've been in depression, it's your reality. It seeps into everything. But if you understand that it's just an energy state. But if you're depressed, are you super aware? Are you sensing things? Are you bringing in new energies? Are you feeling inspired? Is nature talking to you? Typically, no. Because you're blocked. When you're at a low state of energy, you're vibrating low. We have to raise our vibration. We have to expand our minds. We have to let go of old beliefs, old fears. We have to step out into the unknown and say, you know what? Yes, I am ready for something new. I don't have to have the house and the family the way I thought. I don't have to make money the way I used to think I had to make money. The world is opening up to so much more creativity, and you are here because your higher self, which is you, but it's at a higher state of consciousness on the scale. So it knows more about you. And then your I am presence is the next layer of who you are. And it knows even more about you. It is the closest to source energy part of you. And so you can tap into these different parts of you when your life changes. One of the most common questions I get is, how can I talk to my higher self, or hear my higher self, or hear my inner voice, or my heart, however you feel it? And how can I increase not only how frequently I receive that communication, but how clearly, and how to understand it. So I want you to understand that when you decide, you write down whatever it is, I am ready and willing. I am open and receptive. I begin everything with that because it sets your state. You are in command of your life and your body, whether you feel like it or not. Most people feel controlled by their mind and their emotions. That's why we got to cleanse that field, okay? You cleanse it, you start to create space, you can start to bring in new energies, and you're going to have a completely different connection to your intuitive network. The more guidance that you receive, listen to, trust, act on, and learn to decipher, the more your life is in flow, the more the things that you love manifest. So I'm in the corner of my bedroom. We've just bought a house on the beach on the Gulf of Mexico. It's right out there. And I still can barely absorb it because I didn't know how this was going to happen. I didn't have the resources for it to happen. And every single thing that has happened to me, well, it's true for all of us, but consciously, I have been following my intuitive guidance. I have been developing my light body and my inner vision and my third eye and my crown and all my energy centers. And I have been expanding to do this because of pain. When my first business fell apart, it was so painful. I felt like a failure. I felt like the worst person on the planet. It was epic in every way. Now I look back and I love that that happened. It was a complete deconstruction of my reality, my agreements, my beliefs. So the agreements you made at the end of these lives or during different situations in this life are, that's not safe. I'm never doing that again. Your mother might yell at you because you broke a glass of milk on the floor just because she's stressed. But it's the first time that you've heard her yell at you, and suddenly that love that you rely on has been separated, and it's a shock. Everyone has one or more initiating events in this life where this happens. So what happens? You make a decision, oh, I never want that to happen again. I want my mother to love me. I want her to be nice to me. I want that, feel that love again. I'm going to be the best little girl ever. I'll never do anything wrong. And then you might start on a path like me and most people pleasing, trying to figure out what everybody wants. And I need to be this perfect mother, and I need to be the perfect everything, right? And overachieve, or get stressed, or get depressed, or whatever your way of coping. All of these patterns come from agreements. That agreement you made as a child in this life, like I'm never speaking up again, or an agreement that it wasn't safe. You know, I've seen so many different versions of lives in 30 some years of working with people. And as a homeopath, you take a huge intake. It's hours and hours of all kinds of information about their life, and you learn to see patterns. When I do shamanic journeying, when I do energy work, when I can see you and see your energy field, this didn't happen overnight. I'd meditate and meditate, nothing would happen. I wouldn't hear anything, I wouldn't see anything. I didn't even see colors for a while, and I would hear other people's stories and I'd get really frustrated. But over many decades, and I'm telling you that what's fun is right now, you don't have to take many decades. We're accelerating. Things happen faster. The old's gonna fall away faster, so it might feel a little scary, but the new is being developed faster. So the sooner you cleanse your energy and you just hold that intention that I'm ready and willing this week to allow myself the time and the space and intent on every level. Focus in your mind, focus in your emotions, not just time, okay? Bringing all of you to this, that I'm dedicated to myself and my intuitive network. I know that things are accelerating, and I'm ready and willing to release that which is ready to go. I'm ready and willing to invite into my reality that which is ready to awaken for me. I am open, receptive, and a clear channel to my highest good and that which is optimal for me at this time. Take a deep breath in. Let it take this intent and this statement through your body and now out, and push it out through your energy field. Start to watch energies with your inner attention. Don't get attached to, like I did and many people do. We block ourselves when we're frustrated that we're not getting a message. Why am I not hearing more from my higher self? I have clients who have epic stuff happen that I've never had happen. And yet I've had the most powerful, insane experiences in the pyramid, in the Great Pyramid, just with our group for 4 hours, 2 days in a row, meditating, ascending, going through dimensions after dimensions. Last year I died from getting a bee sting. I call it a bee shaman. There's a Mayan bee god here it changed my life. I actually at one point decided, well, it's time to let go of my fear because stuff's going on. I'm altering dimensions and I'm still conscious. This is where we're moving. We're moving from, oh, I had a dream, but I don't remember it. Oh, I have a sensation. Oh, I just had this feeling. It's just this tiny nudge. That's because we've been too dense. We've been attached to agreements. Okay, when you die, I told you that story because that's a very common type of scenario for many, many, many clients. I call it the burned at the stake syndrome. You do something that's creative, that's expressive, and there's a backlash. You're imprisoned, you're beheaded, you're burned at the stake, you're outcast, you're ridiculed, you're criticized, you're fired, you're divorced, you're whatever. Whatever version it is, whatever era we're talking about, it's the same energy. I express myself, I am intuitive. We have a lot of history on this planet of being punitive towards people who listen to their intuition. And yet science can now prove most of the stuff that intuition, spirituality, traditions, energy, healing, even music, these are all vibration. They're all vibrational healing. Okay, so you may uncover some agreements this week. And if they're ready to come up, you want to be ready and willing to receive them. So if you do that affirmation that I just did with you every day, and I'll guide you through that when we start to do the process today. And you're going to have a beautiful experience of these things are very powerful. I combine so many different modalities and so many years of experience going to sacred places, working with so many people, just the most unbelievably expansive experiences. When people come on the retreats and we're at the top of the pyramid at dawn on the equinox, and I guide everybody through a journey, we go somewhere, usually to Atlantis or some other life there, and it's completely different for everybody. And everyone comes back with these vivid, they understand what role they played in the past that's important now. So it's not just the agreements that you make, like I'm never speaking up again, or it's not safe to trust people, or it's not safe to have money, because many people have, we go to lives where the money was taken and you were killed or something else happened because you had money. So there's many people who have that belief that you can't have money. So how do you have intuition around money? You might be hitting your head against the wall. I know I did for years. Why can I make a lot of money and then lose it all? Why does, having money I feel natural with it, but then something happens and I just completely drag myself down into hell and spend years in poverty, trying to come back again. These are all things that block your intuition, because when you're connected to your intuitive network, you flow with it all. Okay, good. So let me say hi. Hi, Jill. So good to see you. Hi, Kathy, honey. It's Stacy. Good morning. This is the right place. Hi, Pat. Good morning. Good morning, Laura. And I believe that today's email may have had an incorrect link since I needed to use it earlier. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully people will find us here. Love the view around you. Me too. We're going to paint this. We have a lot of work to do to the house, so we've been working. We've only been here just over 2 weeks, but it's incredible. We've already had the trees trimmed and we have lights underneath them, and it's just a little tropical paradise. And for me, it is what I have always wanted and really never thought I would have. So I can promise you that every time I listened to my intuition, I moved, I went somewhere, I let go of an apartment I loved, or we had a condo that overlooked the ocean and the jungle over on the Caribbean side, and I was like, I'm never leaving. And then it was like, you need to move. Why? I don't want to move. Just listen, just go. We came over here and it's been 2.5 years. Chris had a seizure and died and came back. I had my bee sting, died and came back. We went from never wanting to own again to believing and understanding, and this land, connecting to the land. So I want you all to understand that what you feel drawn to. Some people don't like the ocean, so this isn't your paradise for you at all. Maybe you like rivers or mountains or cities or whatever. Go to where you're feeling called right now. It's right now more important than ever to listen to your intuition. Hi, Stacy, and hey, Julie, honey. Oh, an older one. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Hi, Kathleen. All right, so what we're going to do is, let me just tell Donna really quick. Wrong link. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. And yes, it does, you're right. Stacy said, wow, so brave. I don't know about you, but I feel like I've gone through a journey for my whole life, and it's been pretty epic. I have big ups and huge amounts of money and great, wonderful, amazing things, and then, crashing down to the bottom, and then climbing back up. I'm really living that hero's journey. That's what we're here to do. But the good part is we've made it to this. This is the state of consciousness of unity. This is the top of the Mayan pyramid. This is what they call the 9th wave of consciousness. From here, when we let go of these old beliefs, old patterns, old things that are clogging our intuitive network, now we get to expand. It's like being at the top of the pyramid, like a tree branching out, connecting into higher and higher realms. Why do we want to raise our vibration? So that we can be seen and heard, just like a connecting of, old time TV. We had to tune it in and there was black and white and static, and sometimes you could hear it but not see it, or vice versa. And it was all kinds of weird. And actually now I'm glad I experienced that, because I think about that's receiving and sending energy. There's a lot of energy being sent all the time. You're not picking up every TV station right now. You're not watching every YouTube channel right now, right? You zeroed in with your consciousness to this moment. So from this state of consciousness, you are the center. You are going to stand in your center. You're going to ask to be a clear and open channel. You're going to connect to that which is optimal for you and your highest good at this time. That means you can say, I'm really stuck with money. I'm really stuck with my mother. I'm really frustrated with this guilt. I really want want to let go of this weight. Whatever it is that is in your face, look at it, pick it up, because that your higher self is serving it to you, and you're going to keep getting it back in your face until you go, oh, okay, thank you. Let me look at this. If you're doing cord cutting, I want to give you a very important tip. It's okay to say, no, I've had enough of this. This is not a pattern I'm doing anymore. I'm ready to have a clear and open connection to my higher self. I am no longer letting doubt get in my way. I ask the doubt girl in my head, in my reality, in my energy field to step out. All energies that now block me, that are not optimal for my highest good, I ask to leave my light body and allow me to freely cleanse, clear, and reconnect to my intuitive network. I'm ready to hear the guidance. I'm ready to trust it, feel it, and awaken my senses to the next level. And from here, your sensors come online. You have new codes or new phone numbers. You get the new phone book. Okay, now you can reach the angelic realms and nature spirits and da-da-da-da. So if you've had individual experiences where you had really strong dreams and vivid, they stayed with you for days, or, you know, an angel picked your daughter up and carried her and kept her from smashing her brain open when she was a little kid. This happened to my daughter, Sierra. I just was like, she's flying across the parking lot at Walmart about to smash head first. And she was about that big onto the pavement, and she didn't have a scratch on her. And 4 or 5 mothers, we were running across the parking lot to try to catch her, and nobody got anywhere near. And so if you've had moments of letting go and actually listening to those inner senses, feeling into it, I do something I call go on a date with your higher self. And several years ago, we did a free flow writing course where you basically open and expand your intuitive channels and you let something come through writing, whether you type or write. Most people write, some people type. And these are all different ways of receiving. You want to be a clear and open receiver. They are all different ways of awakening your senses or sensors. So we can imagine that, you know, we know there's sensors inside of electronics. We know that what that means in equipment. We have a tank of water on our roof, and it has a little sensor that floats in it. And when it's up, it doesn't go off. When it's pointing down, because the water level goes down, it goes on and it tells the pump to pump more water up from underneath to the tank. It's a sensor. So you have senses, those are sensors, but 5 senses generally get in our way. So let's look, no worry, hi Susan. Let's take a look at, all right, you're gonna get to see my whole screen for a second, kind of strange, but here we go. Okay, so as we are beginning the Intuition Challenge, we're gonna do this all week. So every day we're going to be live at 10 a.m. Central, and we'll do an activation. This is the only one that's going to be this long. The other ones are going to be around 30 minutes because we're just to dive into whatever is the new process that's going to awaken us to our intuition. So welcome again, Akasha here, and I did tell you that we're going to do a channeled message, so we're going to do that next. I want to invite you to the Intuition Awakening course. It's a summer training or a summer camp, 100% online. It's live, but it's also recorded, so it's going to be available forever. And so if you buy it now and only make a couple of the live events, it's perfectly fine. You can do it along with us, add questions, and so on. And when you go to nanakasha.com, we'll drop a link below /intuition camp. You're going to see more. So already told that. And we have a bunch of bonuses. We have a bonus as a mini reading. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on one second. It should be right here. There, you get classes. We're doing 5 activation classes and 3 practice and game and play. You're going to get audios that are visualizations, awakenings, and meditations. These are for you to use over and over and over in your life as often as you desire, and they're going to change everything for you in terms of opening your intuition. There's 3 intuition attunements that we're going to give you: morning, creating, and dreaming. We're going to do attunements and initiations during the class. Again, it's fine. Everything is encoded onto the recordings, and you're going to have assignments, and we're going to have graphs and charts and all this good stuff. So Your first thing is if you get started right now, we're starting next week. You can get the Awaken to Your 360 Senses mini course. There's a video tutorial. You're going to understand more. There's games to activate your senses. There's an audio that you listen to, again, like a meditative kind of experience to activate and awaken your 360 senses. You get to do a private mini reading with me, and this is very, very powerful. You can ask whatever you want, and we'll see what comes through. This way we're on the same page as we go through this together. And the all-new Chakra Intuition Boost activation, again, for you to listen to over and over, because your energy centers or chakras are a huge center for receiving and sending intuitive messages. This is clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, sensing, feeling, seeing, hearing from subtle levels. That's what intuition is. You could call it psychic, you could call it awakening your third eye, but you have sensors in many different places. Your higher self, if you're connected to your higher self is connected to even more. That's your I am presence is connected to even more. You've got angels and guides and other lives that are here right now wanting to talk to you, trying to guide you. So a new bonus that we've just added is if you sign up by that date, I'm going to be doing a virtual one-day retreat in October called Intuitive Manifesting. And it's $99 and you're going to get that free. So these are all really awesome. And now we're going to go back into our intuition day one. All right, so intuition challenge day one. You're going to write down at some point today, what is your intent this week? This is an agreement between you and you. I am ready and willing, and I am open and receptive to be fully present at least 30 minutes a day to awaken my intuition. So I want to share a quote from Eckhart Tolle about acceptance. Again, if you go to the shop.nanakasha.com, you can get the scale of consciousness for free. And if you look at the state of acceptance, this is the target state for me at all times. I program myself that no matter what happens, shocking, horrible, wonderful, whatever, I immediately begin to accept it. That means I forgive and let go of anything in the way. I transcend any drama or fear around it. I start to harmonize my mind to higher levels of guidance, information, and higher levels of me. And I enter compassion. It is the state of taking your power back, and it is the state of optimal alignment with your intuitive self. So Eckhart Tolle says, acceptance looks like a passive state, but in reality, it brings something entirely new into this world. That peace, a subtle energy vibration, is consciousness. This is your consciousness. This is your intuitive network. Your intuition is hardwired into you, and you can get 100% correct and soul aligned. That means to your particular soul, your purpose, your blueprint, these agreements and patterns and blocks I told you about. Those are all things that you want to come up so that you can reclaim them, pan them for gold, take out the power, release those patterns, and rise to a higher vibration. So this intuition network is 100% correct because it's aligned to your soul's guidance anytime if you awaken and fine-tune your intuitive gifts. So, do you sense that you were guided to this moment and everything in your life has led you to this time? Most people have. Most people have felt a sense of destiny, felt like they're here for something bigger, felt like it's time to live a different way, feel called more and more that this is relationship, this job, this way of being, this way of thinking about myself, these aren't working for me anymore. I'm on a hamster wheel. I'm not getting free. I'm not expanding. I'm not growing. I'm not trying something new. It's time to let go and change the way you think, the way you choose, and the way you decide, and that changes because of your intuition. So, what you're going to do during this challenge is detach from your thinking brain. Now, please put your thinking brain on when you're doing math, paying the bills, driving your car. However, this is part of the practice, is your intuitive gifts and your intuitive self, or your feminine energy side in general. Doesn't mean your masculine energy side is not intuitive. It is. These are just energies, not genders, okay? We're not talking about men. We're talking about masculine energy. We're not talking about women. We're talking about feminine energy. Those two have to combine in order to create reality. So you are a constant channel for energy coming from these two sources. Masculine energy being more building, outward, linear, direct. Feminine energy being more soft, receptive, expanded, tuned in. That receptivity is what has been out of balance. So when you detach from your thinking brain, when appropriate, you let the distractions and dramas of your life fade away. If you're obsessing over what's happening, or how do I make this happen, or why did they do that, or this isn't fair, or I'm scared for tomorrow, or what will happen, this is all distractions that are absorbing your conscious mind, which isn't very big, and it's not allowing you to receive from your intuitive network. So make connecting to your inner guide a priority, please. Getting into your intuition to flow. Getting your intuition to flow is tied to getting your energy to flow. Physical energy, mental energy, emotional energy, spiritual, relational, financial. So if you feel stuck in any of these areas, that means that your intuition is going to be stuck in that area. That means you can't trust your intuitive guidance fully because you are filled with emotion or heavy lower states of energy. When you're connected to a lower state of energy and you're emotional about something, it is not the time to make a decision. You want to make a decision when you're relaxed, you're detached from your fears, from your agreements that say, oh, it's not safe, or someone will attack me. You're going to walk into those and you're going to say, it's safe. I'm listening through this to my higher self. I'm open and receptive to receive visions, images, sensations, memories, synchronicities. TV shows can come on and guide you. Many of you have heard my story of how I got into real estate investing. 7 nights in a row, I went into the bedroom where my ex-husband loved to watch TV while he slept. And I hated TV, so I would be in the other end of the house. I'd come in to get something, and the same infomercial was on 7 nights in a row. And I laughed at it. I didn't listen to it. I listened to more by the end of that week. I'd heard the whole thing. I called them up. I bought it. It changed my life. I spent 8 years or so in that business and had a massive spiritual growth, made lots of money, learned a lot of things, and then lost everything in my divorce. So every single step of the way, there's guidance. It's coming to you. You might see a billboard. You might hear the same person say something three times in one day, or 3 days in a row. These are not just cute little moments to think are subtle. Your body is trying to talk to you nonstop. Hence, it gets sick or tired because we haven't listened to it. Your higher self, your I am presence, your guides, your angels, your plants, your animals, your house, the land, the air, the water, everything. There is more dimension and reality than you could imagine, and you've been cut off from it. And now we're being given an opportunity to take off all of these plugs and clogs and open. Okay, so get yourself flowing. Do infinity light weaving if you're a light weaver of mine. Breathing, yoga, walking, meditation, but get the energy flowing. Don't even know where you're stuck. Just say, I ask to flow with my highest good. I'm open and receptive. You have to be open and receptive because we have many beliefs and agreements that say it's not safe to receive. Do you feel guilty receiving money? Do you feel like someone's going to criticize you or take it away from you? Do you have these weird inner feelings around receiving a compliment? I couldn't receive anything before. And I had to really, it took me a long time to work through those, to be willing to walk into it, accept it, so that I could rise through it and find the harmony in it. Everything in your life was designed to bring you to this moment. I promise you from the bottom of my heart. If you do a soul reading with me, you will know that the most phenomenal things are happening. And right now, I think I was saying, last year I started to see people going to other lives and then both lives changing and taking a new direction rather than just ending that connection and that agreement for you. which is the way it used to work. That was as far as we can go. Now you can redirect. Imagine if you have 10 lives that all had a betrayal happen, and you carry a deep fear of trusting yourself or others, speaking up, owning your power, being individual, standing out, having a lot of money, all these things. These are all real life things in some different version or another that me and my clients have felt over 30 years. So this is a lot of people. This is a pattern for most people. And when you are now being freed of those, you can create a new belief, a new agreement, a new decision, and you free that energy, and you're freeing yourself and that other part of you. Now, two of you have more energy, have raised your vibration, are listening and receiving at a higher level. Your guidance is going to start to flow. The visions are going to come. You're going to know and feel confident that you can stand up and say, I'm sorry, we just sat down at this restaurant, but I can't stay here. I do that. The energy is not good for me. Chris doesn't even question me. He just gets up and walks out. But most people are like, oh, well, I don't want to look weird or people be upset, or I don't want to upset people. And I've had clients who won't, and I used to be this way, they won't take time off to do something for their spirit, something that they were told. It's important you don't go to work today. It's important that you go sit in nature today. It's important that you just spend time alone today and heal your inner child, or let the anger out, or whatever. Instead, it was, oh no, I made a commitment. I have to do this, this, and this. Well, what would it take for you to listen to that intuition? Well, I broke my leg and I literally can't go, so the doctor said, so it's obvious to everybody, so that I don't feel guilty changing my plans. These are the kinds of things that you have to do, is change your priorities. Your priority has to be connecting to your inner guidance. And if you receive visions now and then, I have clients, it's so much fun. When they came to me late last year, there were a few that started, and they were like, I want to see things, I want to feel things, I want to have those visions that people have as they're coming and going from sleep or during meditations. And they felt like this was something really far away. And now they're like telling me they're having prophetic dreams, and dreams with warnings, and dreams like 5 days in a row, and waking up and being conscious in them, and lucid and different. It's just phenomenal. And your life, it's not that it all becomes perfect, because you are here to go through ups and downs. People will die. Your life will change. Sometimes it will feel sad. But if you're connected to your intuition, if you're connected to your higher self, if you're connected to your greater purpose, if you start to realize you have talents and passions way beyond anything that you could imagine. Maybe I had never heard of real estate investing. I loved buying and living in a nice house, but I didn't ever want to fix it up. And I never would have thought of that and been like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. And yet when that happened to me, I felt a passion to go towards that I had to make a decision to that, because my husband was very upset and didn't speak to me for 2 months. So someone said at the beginning, that's brave to listen to your intuition. It takes a lot of bravery for you to decide, people that love me are upset. Should I quit to appease them? Or do I feel committed to this? Is this really important to me? And I've had to do that over and over and over to stay committed. And I can promise you that in the long run, in the short run, people might be upset with you. In the long run, you are going to be so happy. Because Chris and I ended up in Mexico. We were only going to stay a few months. A friend was getting married. A series of things happened. My children moved in college, ended up living in the same building, a mile away from my mother and father. And it was like, oh, okay, we're free. We got rid of everything, and we started to travel the world because we can work from anywhere. We were on our way to Thailand. We did that because it was intuitive. And funny, I'm the one who says, we had discussed this for many years. It wasn't that new. But Chris was the one who started texting me one day, we need to get rid of everything and go to Thailand. We need to do it right now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm too busy to think about it. That's giving priority to my thinking brain, right? Well, I was in the middle of a work day, so that was fine. But by the end of the work day, I went to bed. We hadn't had a time. He fell asleep before I was done working. Workaholic, that's recovering. and workaholism, believe me, oh, I have to work more, I have to achieve more, I'm never enough, I can't take time off. That's just one way to block your intuition, one way to block the support and the help and the guidance and the ease that comes with your awakened intuition. And I woke up the next morning, and before I opened my eyes, this is another intuitive thing, right? I knew, I could feel it. All of a sudden, the consciousness expanded. I hadn't moved a muscle. I was just becoming aware that I was in my body. And I remembered what Chris said. All he said was, I think it's time we should get rid of everything and move to Thailand. And all of a sudden, I had this, it was like energy pouring into me. So I'm very into perceiving. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Is it moving? Does it feel hot? Does it feel square? Does it feel shaky? Does it come and go? Is it really ethereal, or is it like a big iron block? This is important as a homeopathic doctor and as a hypnotherapist and a healer. All these different modalities teach you in great depth how to elicit information from people and how to see and decipher the information that I see. So intuitive readings really is one way to put what I do, but with so much depth and expansion. And what I do is I know when I see an iron block on your chest versus a purple bubble around your chest. These mean completely different things. How dense they are, how intense they are, what the feeling that it elicits, what's the color, what does it mean to that person. This is what you have to start to decipher with your intuition. So when I woke up that day, the first thing that my higher self, that all the parts of me that are here on the same mission as me, did was feed into my conscious awareness. Oh yeah, get rid of everything and move. The second that became connected to my body, to my conscious thinking mind, it's like it went down to another level of me, poured down through my ears and my throat, and down into my heart. And I thought, oh yeah, that's right. That is what we're supposed to do. And then it just washed through my whole body. It was different colors of turquoise is how I perceived it. And I love that color. So it was like ocean colors. And it gave me a sensation of freedom, rightness, expansion. It made me feel aligned, calm. There was no fear, even though I didn't know how I was going to do it. I had learned by this point that I'm a clear and open channel. Then I see what is trying to, what parts of me, what fearful parts of me are trying to tell me, this is bad, this is evil, don't listen to it. How many times do you wish later that you had listened to your intuition, but you just thought, oh no, it's too much trouble or I shouldn't. Again, get up and leave the restaurant. Believe me, it's worth it. So I knew in that moment, and I knew that it was immediate. So like a cat, like a big cat that, is laying out in the savannah, just basking, enjoying life, all of a sudden, boom, jumps up and runs 60 miles an hour for a short period of time because the timing is right. Boom, run, boom, don't run. Then you relax completely into the moment. This is the flow that we want to enter. So we got up, and in 2 weeks we had sold or gotten rid of almost everything, put some stuff in a small place, and moved out. We spent a few weeks moving around California. I had 3 or 4 different speaking gigs that I had to do. And then we got on a plane and came down to Mexico, to the Yucatan, and we were here just for 3 months. Within 3 days, I said, did I die and go to heaven? I love this place. And we just kept staying and staying. We were guided to places we could walk to the beach, which was my dream, and then see the beach. And then suddenly, like I said, both of us started to get this inner feeling, and it made no logical, conscious sense. We need to move across. We need to move. So my mind just started to trace the coastline down and up around into the Gulf of Mexico. Where could I live on the beach? That was my next goal. I want to live on the beach. And somebody kept telling me about Merida. I didn't realize it was a $2 million cosmopolitan city with parts of it looked like Paris and ancient, and Europe, and it's really a phenomenal city to live near. So we came over, we tested it, we looked at it. The first couple of days didn't go well. I was seriously thinking, oh, this was a big mistake, and we were ready to go back, but I stayed 5 days. 2 things happened that made us stay longer than I planned. Again, this is how guidance comes. If your travel plans get interrupted, instead of being obsessed with the frustration and the anger and the cost and the inconvenience, those are distractions of your thinking mind. Those are making drama out of what's happening in life. If instead you accepted it and you went, oh, what is happening in this moment? Okay, I wonder why I'm not going to be on that airplane. What if that airplane crashes? That would be a nice intuition guidance. What if it's not something quite so dramatic? What if you meet some incredible people that become friends, or tell you a resource you've been wanting, or open your eyes to something while you're waiting for the plane? Maybe all the magical things that can happen in your life. When you accept every moment as it is, you have the power to see those blocks and agreements that say, be afraid of it, make it mean something bad, don't embrace it, be miserable. Those are all lack of acceptance, and all lack of acceptance, regret, fear, guilt, shame, grief, depression, anger, every level below courage is a force state. It means that you are not clearly connected. You're getting static on the line. You're clogged. Many of your sensors are clogged. You're not in flow, and you're not receiving good guidance. So suddenly you're in the jungle, and you thought you had internet, you had your GPS on, but now it starts coming and going, and you lose the connection. You're on your own. This is how we've been living life, and this is not how we're meant to live life. So you have to trust, you have to be brave, you have to listen within, you have to make sure it's not your ego or your fear talking, because it knows how to take over those true guidances and turn them into, oh no, you shouldn't do that. I've seen clients get totally distracted, but somebody comes along that triggers a fear, and they can't tell the difference between the fear and it starts making the decisions. And they're no longer making intuitive decisions that are aligned with their highest good, that is optimal for them at this time. And then they wonder why they're having struggle, why they're having pain, why this won't end. So many people come to me that say, I am so done with this pattern. I am so frustrated. I so want clear guidance. I so want to trust. I so want to let go of, being attached to this ex-lover or being distracted by trying to find my soulmate. This happens a lot, right? I really want my soulmate. I really want my soulmate. I really want my soulmate. That is a distraction. If you would get into the flow and be like, I want to flow with my highest good. I want to go where it's next best for me. I want to know where I go and what I do, to be in this juicy, delicious, wonderful now, to be aligned, to understand more of who I am, to listen to that inner guidance. And sometimes it's being alone. Sometimes you have to do that alone work, and then people blossom into your life. And then sometimes there's times when you're connected with so many people, and sometimes when you need to be all alone with a tree. So you need to listen to your intuition for your health, and your health raises your vibration, and then your mind clears and expands and lets go of fears and old agreements that you won't and you can't and you don't. And then you rise up, and you're coming from your higher self, your pituitary pineal, your inner eye, your crown, and your higher self. These are literal parts of your light body structure. They start to connect, they start to flow, they start to open, they get back into shape, they understand each other, they start to speak the same language. Now your intuition is your inner link to truth that is beyond your five senses, and that's what you want, because your five senses actually, they're nice, they're great, they help you function. You need to dial a phone or something. However, beyond that, that is not what you want. You want to now bring your intuitive network online. So your five senses get in the way of your ability to receive information, solutions, or guidance that is beyond your five senses, beyond what they can perceive. So you've been so taught, watch out, be practical, be responsible. Maybe you've lost something, a job, money, a relationship, something, and you feel like it was your fault because you weren't watching every minute. This is not the state to be in. If you're in resistance, if you're locked down, you're not going to be in flow, okay? So this is coming through right now. All of these are really powerful lessons, guidance for you to begin to understand where and how you can loosen, reconnect, and live in full color. Get your 360 senses aligned, opened, awakened. They're not all going to pop open at once, and you really don't want that, okay? So that's why you say, what is optimal for me at this time? Maybe one sense starts to open. Maybe you get occasional visions. Maybe you start listening. You just sit and watch, a tree or the wind or a flower or something, and you just feel and sense energies. You start to listen to the world around you. I've spent a lot of time in meditation, a lot of time in chanting, a lot of time in sacred spaces and places and ceremonies and initiations and retreats. And these expanded states of consciousness that you can receive, or even, with mushrooms or ayahuasca, or cannabis, or different things that are now becoming more commonly used, they help people relax and expand their senses. They're not to be used daily, but to do this, depend on it, but they do relax you and expand your senses. Sometimes they just let you let go of fear and come into the moment. So as you align more, senses will come online, and I want you to receive the inflow of information, guidance, love, support, calm. In every moment, you have exactly what you need ready for you. And joy. Joy is a powerful state. It is your entrance to the field of abundance, which is an energy place where everything you need is to create whatever you want. So let's dive into intuition. We've just gone through what is it a little bit, why is it vital to your happiness, health, wealth, and spiritual development. Thank you. And so we're going to get relaxed. We're going to receive a channeled message from our inner teacher and our guide, which is generally from intuition, and then that will move into the process. I did want to share one more quote with you from Sonia Choquette, who I've never taken or read any of her intuitive things, but she is a Hay House author who talks a lot about intuition. And I thought this was very, very profound. Your intuition is your inner guidance, and it's your inner teacher. So that really inspired me, because I was like, oh, I'm going to channel a message from the inner teacher and guide. And then what happened? I was intuitively guided to look up some quotes, where I found the Eckhart Tolle one that I just shared with you. And I saw this one as well. So this is fun, right? It's fun when you have that affirmation come back to you. Okay, so now I want you to relax. Remember to come and join the Intuition Awakening. We have a 4-payment plan. If you need help in any other way, contact us. This is going to be powerful. It's going to be fun. It's going to be there for you to repeat and strengthen over and over. The way I design everything is what I learned in the deepest schools that I have attended, that understood how we change our energy and how we reprogram our mind, and how do we develop new beliefs and create new realities. If you truly want to change your happiness, your health, your trust of your inner self, all of these levels, you do these things. You keep repeating the awakenings and the attunements, and you keep expanding every single time you repeat one of these classes, visualizations, attunements. You are going to have a completely different experience. So get started right now and do some of these fun things. Okay, so I also want to remind you that this is Monday. Day 1, day 2, 3, and 4, and all the way through Friday, those are going to be 30-minute activations that we're going to dive into. It's not going to be a class like this in every one. Then Saturday, we're going to do a 1 to 2 hour, I'm here, I'm yours, live intuitive readings. So please come. Those are so much fun. Everybody always loves them. And now, let me just come back here. Ta-da. Okay. So you can go to shop.nanakasha.com. You will see the Intuition Awakening class. And you can, but if you want to see more information, there is the page, which is, let me look here again, nanakasha.com/intuition camp. And we will have a link below if you're watching here on YouTube. All right, so I hope that even if you've been using your intuition and you're an epic healer and you channel things, that you got something from that, and that you realize that we're in a unique moment. So you can be brand new, you can be doing this for 1,000 years. It doesn't matter where you are on that. You're going to come to this challenge. You're going to awaken to the next level for you. And I don't care how many decades I've done this, or how long I've been developing this, or how many talents I supposedly have tapped into. I know I will always be awakening to the next level. Every day, every minute is an opportunity for me to rise higher and higher. So I'm every day working my light body cleansing, clearing. Before this call, I did cleansing and clearing on me, and connecting, and affirmations, and all the different things that I do. This is an infinity healing chamber. We're in a sacred space. I've now been 2 weeks in my new beach house, and I clear and cleanse every day. I've got Archangel Michael and legions of light around here. We call in all kinds of beautiful entities, from Isis and Horus and Kukulkan, who is a Mayan serpent god, which is about shedding the old and emerging, reclaiming your feathers, your spiritual nature. And we've got dolphins and right out there, and my office, which is being painted and is almost done, has dolphin tiles, so it's going to be called the Dolphin House. And we have dolphins right out there too. And we have the Mayan ancestors here. We have all this beautiful nature. And out in the Gulf, we have the sea, but in that cellular memory of the water. in the waters of the cenotes, which are underground caves of pure, pristine water that we go do ceremonies in and stuff, this water holds memories. Okay, this water holds intelligence, it's conscious. So water is an energy that you might receive during one of these energies that I have enveloped us in, you've entered into on this call. Part of developing your intuition, awakening it, letting it awaken, is realizing that the energies that I'm bringing, that I created beforehand, that I'm allowing to channel through me, are encoded now on these photos, this image, the digital photography now actually captures the digital frequency, the code. So if it's the full moon, it's encoded on, and every time you listen to it. So intuition is living in flow with all life around you, consciously creating your space around you and within you, consciously creating your relationships and the channels through which you attract wealth. Wealth and abundance in every form. All right, well, I would recommend that you close your eyes, but you do what is comfortable for you. I started wearing glasses last year, I think, and I just had a clear guidance right then to take off your outer eyes. Sometimes your guides or parts of you that talk to you, could be the doubt and the guilt girl, they could be in there talking to you. Could be your ex or your dad in there talking to you. I've had to evict all of them out of my brain and my patterns, my mind. But it can be parts of you that are very good. So that was my higher self. Thank you, sweetie. All right, so as I say these things, these are commands, these are triggering energies to go out through your field. And if you repeat them within your own heart, you can say them out loud, you don't have to, then you are sending that out as a command, an order, as directions through your own network, through your mind, your body, your emotions, through your cells, through your beliefs, through your spiritual body, through all the parts of you. I enter this sacred space in reverence. And I'm ready and willing and open and receptive to release those blocks, patterns, and energies that clog and keep my intuitive network stuck and disconnected. Take a deep breath in. Now that declaration goes into that breath, blow it out. It's going to move out through all of your bodies. Let it go. Stand in the center of your being. Bring your awareness to the center of your being. I'm ready and willing to be in the center of my being, connected to heart and mind, connected to heart and inner eye, connected to heart and crown and higher self. I am ready to be a clear and open channel to my higher self, to my body elemental, to my I am presence, to my purpose, my mission, my blueprint, to all the parts of my soul that are optimal for me and my highest good at this time. Take a deep breath in. Fill the breath with that. Blow it out. Sense it, feel it. Watch it moving through you. Just be still. Relax and allow it. Give yourself permission to drop deeper into this moment. I enter this intuition challenge and make a commitment to myself each day to give myself 30 minutes or more of pure, undivided, loving attention to relax and come into the center of my being, to connect to that which is optimal for me and my highest good, to give myself permission to let go of the old way of thinking and being, and reconnect, cleanse, and clear my intuitive network. Take a deep breath in. Fill it with it. Feel it stand tall inside of you. And out. This message is carried down into your DNA. It begins to switch how you're wired, moves into your brain, begins to switch how you are wired, moves into your skin and your cells and your electric system and your nerves and your heart and your muscles. And you feel it now going out into your aura, into that electromagnetic field around you, bringing this message through the emotional field, bringing this message, changes. Doors are shutting, new ones are opening. You're unclogging. Pulse expand. You feel waves like radio waves now going out from your heart, pulsing out. You just stand in the center, you watch and feel. This pulse is coming from another part of you, a deeper part of you, out, and a new wave out. And you sense and can see or sense these rings like waves and ripples going out, out, out. And standing in the center, rooted in your heart, aligned with your highest self, your blueprint. Clear guidance begins to open. These waves cleanse and clear the emotional field, the mental field. They move through past, present, future, other lives, relationships, losses, failures, memories, fears, agreements, through the mind, through all energy that is you. Relax deeper and open to your own personal flow. In your heart, be willing to let down the walls of fear and comfort and perceived protection, guilt, or anger. Let them drop gently, as is optimal at this time for me. And as they do, the heart grows, breathes, expands, draws in life force. And you feel a flow pouring from above your head, from your soul star, your higher self, over your crown, through and over your third eye and all the glands, pineal, pituitary, hypothalamus, thalamus, down into the throat center. This life force is bringing rejuvenation, cleansing blocks, realigning, bringing clarity. And it pours over your shoulders into your heart. Your heart drinks it in. and begins to beat stronger. This pulse now, the waves going from you stronger. You feel open, the flow beginning to move in many directions from your heart, out the front and the back, to the sides, above and below, within. Flow gently, slowly, like something that's been packed deep under the sand, now excavated. Little by little, this life force from your higher self, connected to your blueprint, your purpose, your mission, your soul talents, to all of your Akashic records, to your record keepers, to your guides and angelic realms, and to the field of infinite potential. The potential, the possibility you now are becoming more and more aware of. The vast number of connections that are available to you that have been hidden, clogged, and buried. Relax, receive, and let go. Your heart stronger, your throat and mind clearer. Up, up. Your senses, your sensors and receptors, like tiny chips in your light body, sense the vibration of your raising frequency. As you lighten up and receive more, you see and perceive more. You relax and allow this flow to bring exactly what is optimal for you at this time. Give permission for the excavation and the cleanse to continue. Some of these blocks are very hard and have been here a long time. Some are softer and are beginning to flow away and open little by little. There's nothing to do. Receive and expand. Allow your senses and sensors to be cleansed and reconnected. As you relax and receive more, the flow increases and you feel it coming in and going out of your heart, coming in and going out of your throat, coming in and going out of your mouth, your tongue, your eyes, your brain, your inner ears, inner eyes, your clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, light languages, intuitive skills, ability to speak different languages, understand symbols, follow guidance, be present in the moment. These are all slowly and gently becoming clearer, and you flow in and out. Up now, out of your crown, a flow connects to your highest self, your soul star. You see your records reaching out infinitely, and you open to receive a connection to your ninth stellar gateway chakra. Your soul's blueprint, your purpose, your mission, and everything you need in order to live it, from confidence and money to creativity and strength. Leave a message here. I'm ready to be a clear and open channel with my purpose and mission, my blueprint, and the field of abundance. With my higher self, my body intelligence, with all the parts of me and my soul, the guides that are here for my highest good at this time, and my I am presence. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I ask and allow this cleanse and reconnection and this flow to continue as long as is optimal for me at this time. Now your higher self is sending you a color. Receive it, whatever is the first color you feel or see or sense or think of, that's it. Don't argue with it. Accept that color. What is the shape? What is the form? Is it glowing? Is it changing and shifting, or is it solid? Does it look like a piece of a paint swatch, or does it look like a sunset in a particular orange? This color is the most important vibrational color frequency for you today and throughout this week as you reconnect and align with your intuitive network. Drink this color in, digest it, allow it to be taken, whatever energies from it, to your glands, your muscles, your bones, and all of your physical body. Take into your DNA, your cellular memory. The color goes through all your subtle bodies and your chakras. You feel yourself more aligned, clear, and awake. You trust that you are beginning a journey beyond anything you've experienced. You feel prepared, ready, supported. You know that you've done everything to come to this moment and that you are ready. You stand in your heart, feeling this connection getting stronger moment by moment. As I come into this day, I enter with this connection as clear as is optimal for me. I listen throughout the day. I take time to not choose or decide until I've stopped to tune in to my new intuitive network, connections, and guidance, and to this color. Feel the color within you, around you, pouring into your body. Feel yourself coming, this newly expanded and cleansing network and light bodies coming back into place, almost clicking, locking in, plugging in, back into this moment, a different, expanded, except that I am a different and newly expanded being today in this moment. And every time I repeat this activation, I acknowledge with great thanks, open heart, deep gratitude, pure acceptance, respect, and love that I have been upgraded, released, freed, opened, reconnected to my intuition, my powers, my highest good, my purpose, and that which is optimal for me at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Put your hands on your heart. Breathe in deeply. And now see, sense, feel a connection to this newly expanded heart. Let it go and drop into it. Feel love, acceptance, compassion, and harmony for your truth, your power, your beauty, your creativity. You are here to flower, to blossom, to live, to root, to draw, to be nourished and supported and loved and seen, to be inspired. You are here to create beyond your wildest dreams. There is nothing that you want from your truest inner heart that cannot be achieved. You are already wired for it. I am your intuitive network. I am a part of you, and I am a part of Source. I am a part of the infinite, the field of all possible, every reality, every possible combination. I am the alchemist. I am the operator. I connect and disconnect you. And I have been hidden. I have been buried. I have been disconnected. I have been forgotten. But there is no way to forget, because now is the moment, the awakening. The challenge has come to you from your highest self, from your deepest part of your heart. You are here. You are honored. You are revered. There is a celebration. There is angels singing and music playing and trumpets announcing that you are here. Now the gathering, now that we have seen and felt your readiness, now that you are actively releasing these last heavy, buried, forgotten parts of you, you are now giving them attention, respect, and love. You are going to awaken, and we are going to be here. I am this network. You can talk to me. You can see me. You can feel me. Think of me in your hands. Sense me as you caress yourself or a loved one. Ask that the purest love for that person at this time come through you. Ask that I become a clear, connected, open channel to all of you, your purpose, all the parts of you at every level, and to the infinite field. Let us grow, rebuild, expand, connect, activate, come online. Let us renew. There are infinite worlds to be created. You have more than you could even imagine available to you in this moment. More energy, creativity, ideas, more possible potential in job, work, money, in places to live, in places to go, in ways to do things you feel called to do. It's all possible. We are here to awaken and to remember there are clogs, there are blocks that are so old, that are so deep, that are so ancient, that they're not just tough or heavy. They need to be softened and melted. They need to be accepted. They need to be remembered. They need to be released. and transformed. This is alchemy. You have taken an enormous step forward. I am your guide. I am your teacher. I am your intuitive network. I can connect you like an operator connecting, log you in. I have the passwords, the codes, the keys to every part of you, to every answer, to every solution. Together, we're going to reconnect and rebuild. Together, you are going to come back into wholeness. You're going to find step by step the joy and delight, the strength, the power, the harmony. All of these are your truth. This is what will flow. Welcome. Thank you. Relax and stay in this space as long as is possible right now in your day, or as you repeat this. The last part was that message from your inner teacher and guide, from your intuitive network. Feel how you feel. Do you sense a higher frequency? Are things moving around you? Are you sensing colors or temperature? Make sure that you have a special place to write down your experiences every day. And if you repeat this 3 times today, each time, honor what you experience. Make a note, do a drawing. This is communication. You are now officially on the path. This challenge has been opened like a hero's journey. You listened to the message from the inner magical part of you, and now you've entered another world. You're going to go on a hero's journey. You're going to feel and see the old, the past, the fears. They may come up for you. Take time to anchor into your body. To respect this new part of you is not going to be welcome to the old patterns in you, but there may be some exhaustion, there may be some toxicity. This is a detox. These are energies, so no different than if you had eaten something and gotten food poisoning, it needs to leave your body. These old patterns of believing in lack, believing and clogging your connection to your truth, and from trusting it and deciphering it. This is your journey, so welcome. These are going to soften. They're going to bring up thoughts, feelings. Maybe things will come. Please be aware throughout your day. This is a magical week that we're going to spend together. Thank you so much. I give great thanks to all of these energies, to this sacred space, and to all of us who've come together in this moment. Putting on my outer eyes now, I do want to invite you again to come and join me for the Intuition Awakening. What we're going to do is next Monday, we will start in on our first class. So if you do this week with me and then move into that, you get these bonuses. You're going to just have an epic summer. And many of the readings that I've done in the last 3 months have said that this summer is very important energy. We've already had eclipses, we've had the solstice, and we're moving into the Lion's Gate, which is a beautiful time. So whatever you do, enjoy this, play with it, be light with it, let whatever comes up come up. Share with me, please, here on Facebook, or send a message to support@nanakasha.com. Send anyone that you know, please, over to nanakasha.com/intuition challenge. They can sign up, get notices, get bonuses. And again, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here at this time. You are another me. I am another you. We are one. And we've reached the top of the pyramid. We are in the state of unity. In Lak'ech Alakin, as the ancient Mayans would say. All right. Just went through the process of ordering the scale of consciousness. Yay! Okay, I'll let Donna know. Please, if you are having a problem getting demystifying intuition, if you are, sometimes when you go to the shop, you have to go back into your account, and Donna was releasing anybody's account. I don't know why it does this. So it will free up if you've ordered the consciousness scale or demystifying intuition. And Pat says, I need some more alone time with a tree, dang it. I agree, 100%. I'm surrounded by palm trees, and so I feel completely blissed out. Thank you, Nan. Love your vibe and enthusiasm. Gets me all fired up every single time. Love you lots. Thank you so much, sweetie. Karen said, oh, don't worry, honey. Linda, so blessed to be here with Nan, knowing that she's releasing false perceptions and patterns that no longer serve you. Yes, indeed. Sherry says, thank you. I felt the energy. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Fitness for the Soul. Thank you, ONAPS. And Sandra, thank you. Akasha, thank you too. So beautiful. Congrats on having found your home. Much love and blessings. Thank you. I see this as a marrying of energies. I asked for a sanctuary. I don't want to live anywhere that isn't aligned to my highest good. So I move forward, but I don't push it anymore. And then I let it come together. It took 8 months since we found this place to finally get here. And I'm creating a sanctuary from the exterior to the interior, from the energy work to the beautifying work. We're putting in a lagoon pool and all kinds of wonderful things. And we will be having a retreat here. I don't know if we're going to make it this year at the house, but if you are interested in doing some beautiful live work with me, this will be a beautiful sanctuary eventually for us all. So hi, Bonnie. Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you too. Email support@nanakasha.com if you have a problem getting any of these things, and Donna will be checking. I know that as we started this morning, she had an enormous list of people who ordered the demystifying intuition over the weekend, and so she'll be checking to see if for some reason it's locked. And in the meantime, below we're going to have all the links that you need to Awakening the Intuition class, to this. If you want to get on the list for reminders and other bonuses for this challenge, you can go there. She'll have a link to the shop, to the Scale of Consciousness. Don, I hope you're getting all this, and to Demystifying Intuition. All right. Laura said, thank you. Can't wait for the Intuition Summer School. I know, I'm so excited. It's so awesome. Fitness for the Soul felt a big jolt through my third chakra. Excellent. When you spoke on our guide is going to guide me and direct me. Any thoughts? Well, yes. So everything means something. And in the Intuition Awakening, one of the things we're going to do is spend time with opening, cleansing, and clearing our channels, receiving, attuning to receive visions or pictures or all the different ways that you can receive. But also, when you get something, how do you understand what it means? So one of the things that I love is how my readings, how my sessions with my clients have developed over time. When I became a hypnotherapist, I was very focused on taking people into a deep trance state, understanding how to transfer their mind. But I was then began to work with shamans, so shamanic journeying came into it. Then I began to expand my ability to see and move energies, so I was doing that. And layer by layer by layer, these things come together. So like I said, when I see or when I do a reading with you, and if you do the challenge, I mean the Awakening course with us, the camp, I'm going to do that mini reading. And even in the classes, the live ones, if you ask a question, then I'll look and see what's going on. So if you have a jolt in your third chakra, what is your third chakra? Typically people start at the root, 1, 2 for sacral, 3 being solar plexus. Your solar plexus, you're going to get a chart of 18 chakras that we work with. You're going to get other things like this in the course that's going to help you understand your subtle bodies more, your energy body more. In one of the bonuses, you're already learning how to tap and awaken your crown and your third eye. These are all tools, very practical. So your solar plexus, what is it? Well, it's your inner sun. It connects to the central sun. It also connects to your 12th chakra, which is the central sun chakra. What is the sun? The sun is gold masculine energy. It's the 12th ray. It holds all the other rays of creation within it. The sun also holds codes. It holds frequencies. It brings life force. Plants take the sun, turn it into food, and grow. We do the same thing. It also represents your will or your willpower. That doesn't mean forcing. That means you accepting, I am the power in my life. I am the authority of my life. Regardless of how many times I give my power away to my past or my parents or my fears, or that this happened to me, or that I'm sick, or that my foot doesn't work. It doesn't matter what it is, and I'm not making fun of anyone's situation. I've had plenty of pain and loss in my life. However, when we give a power away to that, then we're not listening within. So when your solar plexus has to awaken to warm the heart, to bring that sunlight, that illumination to the heart, if you get a jolt there, what I'm seeing for you is like a lightning bolt, or when somebody's heart stops, boom, okay? You got a lightning bolt to that. Now, for you, there's also a connection to the ocean, and there's a connection to Zeus, who's the ancient Greek manifestation of what we would call the sky god or the Akasha god, which is the substance through which we create things, which is that overseeing energy. So again, there's a lot of energy here for you to own your power, for you to feel it. So that has now happened. You're going to want to rub it, to love it, to be willing to unburden it. There's a lot of heaviness around the edges of your solar plexus. Yes, okay, that's what I'm being told to share with you right now. This is great. It's a jump start, right? It's a start to a new level. And it's also was bringing a line, like a line. Now it's alive, right? Now that current is available to you. So you'll want to be in acceptance mode. The solar plexus is really about acceptance, because when your power comes, when your light comes, when you want to share who you are, when you get inspired to go for what you want, even though you don't know how it's going to happen, you step out on your intuition. It takes typically what we call courage. However, courage is a positive, powerful state, so that's good. But if you get that lightning bolt like you did, that's starting the revving the engines up. And that means your motor is starting. Your inner work is still going to continue. We do a combination, but you are really anchoring this into your body. I would get sun, and I would focus on your pineal right here at the back of your crown. It is gold. It is gold light. It receives those codes from lots of places. It's your receiver or your antenna, but it's very connected to the sun. If you can look at the sunset or the sunrise, this is also going to bring a lot of energy to your pineal and to your solar plexus. Yes, so this is where you're going to be receiving your intuitive network guidance. It's going to grow from here, but it needs this energy for you to begin to send energy out. It looks like a network that's branching out. Okay, fitness for the soul. Susanna, thank you, and infinity weaves to you and to everybody. Kathy Lynn, thank you so much. I look forward to this week in Intuition Summer Camp. Yay! I know it's going to be so much fun. So please join us. Thank you, Sherry Lord. She was feeling it in her pineal. Excellent, excellent. So our pineal glands is such an important gland. It's a teeny tiny little gland. Pineal means pine cone. It literally looks like a pine cone when it is fully rejuvenated. Through the ages, up until this last 50 years, our pineal glands have been atrophied. That means they've sort of shriveled. They've fallen over. They weren't standing up, and they've become calcified. They've turned to stone. And so a lot of people have become aware of that. The spiritual work, the meditation, the making conscious choices, eating certain foods, organic foods, getting rid of fluoride 1,000% from every part of you. You do not need fluoride for your teeth. My dentist told me you do not need fluoride. It cannot help your teeth after you're 13. That is one of the things that locks up your pineal gland. So we're clearing and detoxing all of this. So I'm so glad you're feeling that. And that's a really fun when you start to feel this receptivity. Again, we allow it to open in the rate that's optimal for us at this time. Oh, thank you, Nan. I can't wait for the summer camp. This is Amy. Oh, I was just going to say fitness for the soul when you tell me who you are. Amy, oh, awesome. I'm so excited. I know, I'm really excited. Fantastic. Wonderful. Amy is an amazing healer. She's an amazing intuitive person with skills really epic amounts of skills. And really, one of her specialties is not just because she's become trained in it, but one of the reasons she was drawn to do some of the training she's done a lot of training on the chakras and the understanding of the energies and the vows, I think it's called, for your work, the energies, the meaning there. And that's why with the third chakra, right, you know what the meanings are. You know your vows there. You know what I would call your agreements or your energies or your karmic knots. I see the energies of them like that. That's similar, are in that center. So this is exciting, really like stepping into it. So, all right, everybody. So much love. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Repeat this as often as you like. We'll put a timestamp below so you know when the process starts, because I'm going to redo it too. I want to know where the process starts. And I'm going to have Donna and our team edit that and send it to you. So if you're on the list at nanakasha.com/intuition challenge, for this free challenge, 100% free, we will edit that and send that to you as well. And then tomorrow, we're going to jump right on. We're going to go right into whatever the topic is for day 2, which our intuition will tell us at that time. Remember that when you show up for this, whether it's now or later, we're connected through time and space. There is no space. I've done so much frequency work. I've seen gangrene reversed, okay? I've seen some of the most, what we were told was impossible healing happen, that I know that nothing is impossible, and yet we don't want to be attached to, I want it like this. Healing for me means that my left knee never hurts again, and I can go back to bungee jumping when I was 20, but I'm 60. Some of this may happen, some of it may not. We have to let go of the way in which we want it to happen. So thank you for being on this journey, and I really, really, really want to receive from you. So if you want to, go to Facebook and put comments on there. If you want to send it, if you one of my clients, you have my phone number, text me. I love being in the flow of hearing what's happening for all of you, because it's like tasting to me. And I get to say, ooh, what you're tasting. Let me have a little taste of your ice cream. Let me have a little taste of your ice cream. I used to teach energy like ice cream, that you mix in different flavors. So everybody has vanilla, and then we mix in different flavors. And you may not even know what some of your flavors are. Okay, everybody. Namaste. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Ciao. Nabila! Got the blue of a blue morpho butterfly, and that there is value in the drab brown underside of the wings like a cloak. Oh, there is. That drab brown, which I don't like either, but that many, many feminine animals have, is a protection. It's often a strength. When you see black on the tips of a wing of a bird or a butterfly or anywhere on their wing, it's the stronger part. It's making it stronger. It's denser. Okay, everybody. Namaste.